Today is day 22 in your first 30 days of Kajabi, and you've come a long ways and built so much. It's really awesome. I hope you're happy with how you're doing. We're going to talk today about the community, and there's just a lot to see. It's a really big and awesome product that Kajabi has. So let's just jump right in and we'll see what we can see. Here from the dashboard in Kajabi, we click on Products and go to Community. Then we click Get Started and we fill out this information. Notice as we put stuff over here, it starts to show up over here, which lets us see kind of how this is going to look in the community, which is pretty great. So I'm just going to fill this stuff out. There we go. And then press Continue. All right, so if we put an image in here, it will show up right here, just like that. And continue on to the next step. We need to create an access group, and so I'm just going to call this here full access and hit continue. I'll explain what access groups are a little bit later on. Right now, I'm going to just set this up. Actually, I'm just going to skip this for now. I don't want to build an offer, but you can do that now. But that is kind of irrelevant for today's video. So we're going to skip that and jump right in to what it is. So here is our community. Notice we've got our image and we've got the name and the description, and we've got our access group, full access. Inside the access group, we have content. Access groups are, well, they're just groups of access. It's real self-explanatory, but what's important is what you do with them. You can use access groups to create different levels of content. So you can have a free community where you try and gather all of your audience, and then once they're there in your community, you can try to bring them into a paid access group. And you can have different levels of access. Your community uses one product for your quota, but you can have as many access groups as you want. And you can sell into those access groups. Or you can just have different types of access groups that are all free. Really, it's just a way to put segments or divisions within your community so certain groups of people can have access to different things. Aside from your circles over here, and this is a circle here, it's a Q&A circle, crush it together. The community has a home, challenges, and meetups space by default. You're going to see a little later on how we can add an extra space up here for resources that are custom just to your community. If we click on this gearbox here, we come to the community details, and there is a lot in this space. You know, clicking here, all of these different things you can name. You can add community guidelines, which are things people have to agree to before they can enter your community. There's a whole bunch of email notifications to review. You can customize the way that emails look. The Kajabi community is a really robust product. And then there's all sorts of content and customizations. So you can change what it says for announcements. You can turn on or off challenges and change what they're called. You can change what circles are called. You can gamify things with and just addressing all of the different names that are default. You can turn on or off meetups. You're just going to need to go through and look at all of these settings on your own. But even more importantly, you're going to have to just click the buttons and see what happens. You know, if you're not exactly sure, click it and find out. That's going to be the best way for you to become familiar with how this community works. Now, if we come into the challenges area, this is where you can create challenges. And a challenge is basically like a thing that you want people in your community to do. You can create a date from when it opens to when it closes. You can create series of challenges or recurring challenges, and it can be anything that you want them to do. and it all shows up in that challenge space, and then people can come and accept it and participate in it. The meetups area of the community is like video conference meetups. There is a live room, and I'm just going to create a new meetup here, and I'm going to just pause the video here to fill all this out. All right, so I've got this all filled out, and I've hit save, and there we can see that it's there, and we'll come back into the community to take a look at what that looks like later on. In the circle space, you can see here the Q&A feed that we saw, and I'm going to create a new circle, and this one is just going to be called Chit Chat, and this is going to be available to the full access, and this is going to be a chat room, and it's going to be public so that you can see, oh, we need a description, so that you can see what this is going to look like. There's announcements where you can create announcements, and here's the navigation menu. So here you can see the home, the challenges, and the meetups. And if I want to put a new page in, I can call this anything I want. And that's really what it is. I can create who gets access to it. And this is just where I put the link. So I could go something like Google and create, oh, too big. There we go. And we can create that, and now we'll have Google built into our community. I would never do that, real life, but here is an example. That's what came to mind. So here you can see the meetups. We created a meetup. Here it is. If we were going to not be using Kajabi's live room, we could put the Zoom link right here. We can add this to our calendar. We can subscribe or RSVP to it, and we can share it. And all of your members are going to be able to do that. So this is a really great place. It's a really great way to bring your community together. And when you, as the Kajabi owner, are coming in to start this meeting, you can just come right here and just click live and join and jump right in to the live room. And it acts, pardon me, it acts just like a regular Zoom meeting or Google Meets meeting or anything like that. So here is the anything page. All right, so there must just have been something wrong with me putting in Google's page, but here you can see I changed it to my website, and when we click into the anything area, resources, whatever, it's literally just loading up my website here in the this space here. So this is a great place to bring extra resources, whether it's in a landing page from your Kajabi that you want to bring resources in from, or if you have a course, if you've got a course in Kajabi that is part of your community, this anything page can be a link to that course. So when they come here, they're actually getting that course and can just, take the modules and all of that stuff right here, which is pretty cool. So that is the resource page, and you can have more than one resource page if you would like. The meetups page, again, we went over, which is really great. And if you record these meetups, then they just come right here above this meetup space. It drops down and all of the recordings go right there if you're using the live room, which is also pretty awesome. We talked about the challenges, and the homepage is just where, it's like the most recent feed. You can pin things if you want announcements to stay at the top, but it's just a recent feed. And here you can see that when I created that meetup, this announcement for it was already made in the Q&A circle. And so if we come over here, click into the Q&A circle, you'll see that that meetup was just posted right here, which is pretty cool. And if we click over here on the chit chat circle, you can see this is just, a chat room. If I type some stuff here, it pops up, and somebody else can type stuff and it pops up, and it's just a chat room. So that is pretty neat. There's a lot of things that you can do in this community. You can direct message people. You can set up your live room so that you don't have to be the one that starts meetings, but you can let your community join their own meetings. You can have direct messages and direct meetings with people, and it's just a pretty powerful platform. So if you are considering using the community, then come on in here, set one up, poke around, see what options there are, and just test it out and see if it's going to be something that works well for you. So that's what I wanted to show you about the community today here. It could be a great tool for you, but it also could just be not something your business needs. But it's great to know that it's there, and it's great to know what it can do. So if you have some time, poke around in it and see if it's going to work for what you've got going on. I will see you tomorrow for another day in Kajabi.